Hello, everybody. Actually, we were waiting for a couple of minutes because I can see that people start still doing access for the webinar. Then I think we are going to start in the 2 minutes. Thanks for the one who made it earlier, and thanks for the one who's already had attend the back work, which we were online already and doing some testing for the sounds and things. So thank you, everybody. I hope everybody is hearing good, and you just if someone is having an issue in the sound or in the picture or something, you can just text us in the chat box. Then we will try to help on solving it. So while we are doing our webinar, if there is some points and something you want to just to have a question, then you will find on the top that there is the Q&A. So you can just put your question over there, and then at the end of the session, we will make sure that we are answering every question you're asking. So if you have any concern or you have any question, you need more explanation or something, there is the Q&A on the top or in the bottom regarding which software you are using. So you can just type your question over there, and we will be answering during the session and the end of the session when we will open the Q&A. So I believe that we will be starting. First of all, thank you for everybody. Thanks for attending our webinar. Today, actually, we are going to start talking about our series of webinars which we launched from 2 months ago. Then we will talk today about our Vertex and the 210 technology. So going through this presentation, then we will cover some few points. That first, we will talk about the introduction about Trina and about the new technology of Vertex 210. Then we are just gonna move to the technical specs and the characteristics of the module and the cell itself, and what makes our new technology and our new trends is different from the one existing in the market, and what happened in this innovation and how it happened for upgrading the industry itself to make it works. Then after that, we will speak about the inverters and cables, the trackers, and the compatibility of the whole system components with the Vertex module. Then after that, we will talk about the summary and conclusion, which how can made it in terms of the levelized cost of energy, in terms of the BOS saving. So we will just go through it one by one together, and we will try to make sure that we are covering all the points of the question, the concern, the debates which is happening in the market every day and on about the 210 technology. So thanks for the competition, and thanks for our competitors for making for us to find the topics which we can really discuss and educate the markets about it. They are raising their points, and they are raising our concern, and our mission is to cover all of this point and just to keep at the end educating the customer and telling the customer the right explanation from the product owner, which we are Trina Solar. The second point which is I'm really happy that we have all this debate about Vertex in the market. Because Vertex is similar to any new technologies come to the human being. So everybody, when he see a new technology, something which he didn't know about it, then they will start to raise some concerns, some debate about it, which is good. It makes us feel that we really success, that we already have this new launch and we have this new product to the market. So going to start. Before we are starting, I would like to show you our super factory for Vertex. So at least you would be knowing that from where you get these panels and how it's produced and how things is going on it. Justin, I just saw your comment right now that's about the video. If it's a silent, actually, that's we were trying to test it before the webinar. But anyway, when you will receive the recorded version of this webinar, you can get the sound of it. It's really exciting music, so you would be liking it. So guys, that's when you see in the video right now, that's how the manufacturing process and every picture was zooming on a certain details in the module and the cell. This is what I'm gonna talk about it today. And I will tell you how it makes the difference and how it can be the change in our industry. So let's start to talk about Trina itself. Trina founded in 1997 in China. Then since then Trina's leading the industry and R&D for the PV modules in 2010. That was the very early beginning of introducing the solar business or introducing the solar energy to the markets. Trina had built like a 40 off-grid solar power station in Taipei. And then in 2006, that Trina had been listed in the stock market for New York. 2012, that's we started to state our laboratory for the science and technology, which from here, that's we started to lead the R&D in the market. So if you will just go back and have a look on the innovations is going in solar industry or the PV cells, then you will find Trina's always having a remark. Then we are really focusing on our R&D and to make sure that our team is working to get the best to the market. In 2014, we will be the global module shipment #1 in the world. Once we started to spread our product around the world, and we will supply to the whole globe, that moment that we realized that we need to have some other facilities to cover some other regions, then we started to build our factory in Thailand 2016, and now it's operating and delivering mostly for a back and issue part. So in 2017, we had an initiative that Trina was launched the million rooftop plan. Then we started to implement it globally. Then in 2018, that's Trina started to have the Internet of Things for their brands. So that's why we are really aiming to have all of our products as intelligent. And even we started by ourselves when you saw our factories is all fully automated and IoTs. So in 2020, we issued our first share in Shanghai Science Technology Park Innovation Port. So we became a stock listed company in China. So then the next part, that's from the bankability. For everybody of you that's know, before choosing a company which you supply the PV modules, you need really to know that's where is the bankability, where is the position of bankability of this company. But here I'm just talking about different kind of bankability. Then you are seeing the advertising on the LinkedIn or the social media. That's every company having it for 1 year or for 2 years. And they are just trying to announce and publish that they are a bankable company. So bankability, it's about the sustainability. It's about the company which is having a history in the bankability. So from 2016 till 2020, that's Trina is one of the top bankable companies in the module suppliers. So it means that company can stay in the position for 5 years in a row. It means that you are doing strong, you are doing really good, and you are trying to secure your client and securing the market around you. So as per the bankability report, you know that all of you know that it comes from Bloomberg NEF. So then it will show the records on a various years. So when you are doing the comparison to check the bankability of each company, you need to go back and to check the history of the bankability. How many years the company can be able to be a leader. Then when, as I was talking, that's when Trina had started the business and we started to go for leading the technology. We started really to invest hardly in our R&D. That's why today that we are in 2021 and we are coming with the latest innovation for the technology, that the bigger cell exists in the market with the higher efficiency. So which is all is about the cumulative experience and the cumulative work which Trina started from the early beginning, that's to invest in R&D. According to the technology and innovation, Trina had got a 20 world record in the innovation. So you can see the buttons in every year. That's where we are achieving and getting our benchmark of the world record existing. So when we are talking about a company which would provide a bankability and provide R&D, then we will talk about the quality right now. So we are having a global standards of the first PV module to receive the UL. Then yeah, there is other companies, they got it, but you got it after Trina. For the warranty, we have all of our products warranted from 25 to 30 years. For reliability, that we are having all of our product tested and certified by a third-party labs. So for the testing, we are performing all kind of tests which you will need to imagine for the module that we are having it in Trina. So as I'm saying, that the global leadership is one of our key points, that just to make sure that we are driving the market and everybody else is following. So for the presence and current experience, then we are existing in more than 100 countries. Our product is all over the world. We have more than 50 giga modules. There is a 3 giga plus connected to the grid, and we are around 12,000 persons working in Trina. As you can see that the red marks, it's called the subsidiary office, which is having a team. Our team here for Middle East and Africa is based in Dubai. With all over the Middle East and Africa, we have our colleagues and our team members, which they are here and there. So now we will just start on our technical debate, and this is here where I would expect everybody, if you is having a concern, is having his head on, and we will just try to make it kind of conversation more than it's kind of webinar or just giving the one direction. So I'm expecting of everybody, if you have any concern, if you have any question on what we are gonna talk about it technically, you can just raise it in the Q&A, and we are ready and happy to answer this one. So talking about the 210 modules or a Vertex module, we will start from the cell itself. So as we know that the cell, it's the largest in the waivers right now. We can see that the cell started from 156, 158, 161, 166 module, which was the standard till the last year. There was here a missing, which is M10, which is 182. Some of our competition decided just to start the cycle as it is, but we started to take the risk and to jump to the M12 and have a 210. So we are talking about the biggest waiver exists in the market right now, which is M12 210 mm. This is it helped us to have a multiple bus bar. And as you know, all guys, that's when you have a multiple bus bar, that's you have a round ribbon, which is with a better light ribbon effect, which gives you the stronger current collection with a lower series resistance, because you give a longer bus for the current to go through the MPP. So the multiple bus bar is really one of the benefits, which will help you to get the series current with a lower resistance, which makes sure that you give a higher efficiency for the module. So as you know, that the module is like a combination of mixed of the cells next to each other. So once you were able to get the better efficiency on the cell level, so you will be able to get the cumulative or the total efficiency is really in a good way for the total module itself. Then which comes to the next part, that there is advanced technology for the cutting, which we call it NDC, the non-destructive cutting, which I will show you how it will impact the efficiency and how it will reduce the risk in doing the cell itself. Then the high density encapsulation, that's how we are connecting the cells next to each other. Then speaking about the non-destructive cutting, the normal way of getting the cuts for the cells when it comes, that's people is using the laser melting, which is more than 1,500 degrees Celsius. As you know, that this is when you come for the silicon and you will just apply the high temperature, the availability or the possibility of getting shattered or just getting a cracked cell itself, it's very high because of the impact of the thermal effects and the impact of the cut from the laser. So the mechanical separation itself, it makes like a rough cutting surface, which can increase the risk of having a micro cracks when you will connect all these cells next to each other to complete your cell module. So the difference between the traditional or the mechanical separation or the laser melting to the NDC, that the NDC is using a low temperature for doing the cut. So if we can see here in the two picture, this is the surface, how it looks like when you will do the laser melting. And so we can see the rough surfaces, which is existing over here. When you are doing the low temperature cut in the NDC, that you have a very smooth cutting surface. So from the mechanical performance on the cell itself, which we are here concerning about the micro cracks. So we are talking about the yellow one, it's the full cell. The light blue one is the one cutted with the NDC, and the conventional was the traditional cuts I was talking about there with the laser melting is here. So we can see that the cutted cell, not the full cell, the cutted cell, it's approximately coming on the same level of the full cell. So which means that the cutting didn't affect the efficiency or didn't affect how it looks like from the mechanical strength perspective, which gives that the benefits, which give the benefits at the end, that you are having a very low risk of the micro cracks. The second thing it's high density interconnections. So it's about that's how you are connecting the gaps or how you are connecting the cells to each other. So in Trina, we are using the HDM, which is the high density module that we are having a gap 0.5 mm between the two cells. And the other side, which is the other modules, is using something called overlapping or shingling in our traditional language for the technical. So when you are using the shingling, that you are doing overlap between stacking the edge of each cell on each other. So you can have it in this is how it looks like, which is as well increase the risk of micro cracks because there is a push from a cell to another cell. And the overlaps area, it can be micro cracked or as well it residue from the melting itself, you can just have some little hotspot. So because you need to do the weldings over here, there is no really separation between all of them. So which it impacts the total efficiency of the module. So for the Trina modules using the HDM, and for the other one is using the shingling, that we can say that we are able to increase our efficiency than the similar modules which is using overlapping or a shingling. Then the last of the technical characteristics on the cell itself, that's when it comes for the capsulation. So this is the dual glass items. So we have 2 mm of glass. We have encapsulant, then we have the cell encapsulant, and we have a 2 mm glass. The debate which is existing in the market in these days that the people is just getting a very higher glass, 3 mm from a different layers, and they get in a bigger frames. So it's not about how to get a stronger glass or bigger glass, because once you are increasing the thickness of the glass itself, so the main of using a double glass or using a bifacial is for a certain application with a certain weather condition and with the certain limits. So as long as you can achieve it with 2 mm, why you need to go for a 3 mm glass? So in case if you will go for a higher glass, it means that you are increasing the weight of the module itself, and you are increasing the capsulation on the cell itself. So when you are increasing the weight, getting a bigger frames and getting a bigger encapsulant for the cell, that you have as well the risk of micro cracks. It will be heavier. If we talk about the same module, 500 or 545, using 2 mm glass, double glass from the two sides, and using 3 mm glass from the both sides, you are talking about from 6 to 8 kg extra for every module, which will cost you money in transportation because the container will take less number and less and on the same weight. The installation as well, instead if you needed 2 guys to handle the module, then you will be 3 guys. The vibration and intrusion, if you are using a trackers, it's gonna be really, really higher. The 3 mm glass, it will need a different kind of cleaning machines than the 2 mm glass, because it's the thickness of the glass is really higher. So then moving on, which is covering the main concern existing in the market today about the product range. So everybody, when he heard about the 210, the spreaded word about the 210, very high short circuit current. Like if we are, and yeah, when I speak about the people talking about the 210, there is only one single 210 in the market, which is us. So it means that's like you are appointing me only, that's saying Trina's having a 210. So you, instead of even saying 210 till today, you just can say Trina modules. So which is which we agree partially on what they are raising about the eye short circuits and the compatibility with the other system. But what I wanted to highlight that we guys have all the range of the product. So if we are talking about the smaller modules, which is the below 400, we have our legacy, which is 166 mm, the smaller cell, and it's old module, but we keep it in our range because still there is a lot of application which needs these smaller modules, and we still receive an inquiries for it. But on the same side, for the same from the same level of the wattage range, we have our latest innovative Vertex S. I will speak about it, and I will speak about it shortly today. And in a brief, we have on 16th of March only webinar with ATA inside that we are only speaking about Vertex S and how it impacts the rooftops. So then we have this module, which is the most shipping module for Trina, and we can call it the Primo for us. That's because this product is one of the most shipped product all over the world. I'm sure every one of you is either having it or use it in one of his projects, which is our 460 watt, which is 166, and it's half cut. This is as well from our legacy modules, which we didn't change till today. Then moving on the Vertex series, which we are focusing today, it's the 500, 550, 660 module. The 500 comes in a 210 mm with a third cut, but 550, 210 mm was a half cut. 606 is 200 mm was a half cut. So all the products which is having an image down, which means this product is having double glass and bifacial, and it's having a backsheet modules. So when we are talking about the modules of Trina, what's the benefits of having the highest power? With the highest power, we didn't increase the other like the others when we go higher. So we have a shorter modules to reduce the wind load, which means that you are gonna use less complicated trackers and you will use a less trackers. So comparing the modules from the weight perspective, as we are still talking about light trackers, so you can just see the comparison between our 550 or 660 comparing to other modules that's existing in the market today. From the weight perspective, we have it here 28.6 for the 550, 34 kg for the 660. On the other side, the 580 is having a 30.9 kg. Getting at weight per meter square, then we are talking about less weight per meter square comparing to the others from the backsheet perspective. And on the same comparison as well from the dual glass or the bifacial. So we have as well the lower or the lighter weight of the bifacial modules from this perspective. So when you are using a lighter module, every 1 gram in the trackers, everybody knows that it's really money. Because when you are using lighter modules, which is comply with the all climate conditions you want and comply with the technical specs, you are ready to get it. So you are talking about getting cheaper tracker, less complicated tracker, easily tested tracker. So now, yeah, here are the points which we came about it. This, I said, this is the 2 legacy modules, which we didn't obsolete after we had the 210, which is the DE08M till the 490 watt, and the DE17M till the 460, which is the standard I short circuit for 11.5. Going for the third cut module, this is our Vertex S, the 210 third cut, the Vertex S module, and the Vertex 500, the DE15. We can see here that the shorted, like the I short circuits is 12.3. So getting till the level of the 500, it means that you are safe. You are in the same range for all the other modules exist in the world from the perspective of 166M or the bigger, so it means that the short circuit current. But the point here, guys, the number of strings which you are using and how many modules per string you are gonna use. So the question here, that's when I'm gonna use, so the question is not about what short circuit current I have or which kind of inverter I have, which level of project do you have? So that's why we are always asking our customer, we are always asking the people who works with us, come back to us and we can give you the free consultation. We can tell you what is gonna be the most suitable PV module. You can use it for your project, which will achieve the higher levelized cost of energy and will achieve the higher POS saving on the complete system as it is. So don't go for a 200-300 kilowatts of a rooftop and you will tell me I'm gonna use the 606 and you are using an inverter, small inverter, 25K or something. So in this case, that's you will find that the money which you save in the number of modules you are using, you pay it because of the inverter or you pay it for another structure, most complicated or bigger structure you have. So that's why we are having the 3 range. So it means that we are covering from A to Z. We are covering all ranges of the inverters. We are covering all the ranges of the cables or a structure. So it's about the choice. What modules can fit your project? That's why we are saying when it comes for selection, it is better to come back to us. Ask us and we will give you the free consultation. What is going to be the most efficient module you can use? It's not about to get higher or to get lower. It's about using the proper components for the system that to make sure that you are having money from doing the system or getting the BOS saving on it. So then talking about the compatibility, which was raised point as well, that people is asking, can I get this module? It will work with this inverter or no? Can I get this module? It will work with this tracker or no? So this is the modules which we have, and this is the inverters and trackers, which we can say the most common inverters and most common trackers can be used in the market today. And we are having all of our Vertex modules comply with them, with SunGrow, with Huawei, NHT, SMA, Femur. So all the inverters works with our Vertex or Vertex S modules. But again and again, that's when I'm saying about it, I'm saying how to choose the right product for your project, how to choose the right module for making your project, having the really added value of using the new technology, and at the same time, you will make money. Trackers as well from the same perspective. So here to talk about the point which I raised like in the 2 slides before, the people were talking about the I short circuit and how the impact on the inverters and how the impact on the cabling itself. So now we have a 2 comparison between our Vertex 545 half cut 210 on other modules 535 half cut and 182 which is the M10. This is the M12 cell. So which we can see now that the power is the same. The power is 244 for both projects. And we can see here that it's the AC-DC ratio is the same. Number of string is different. And when we come here and put these things in a table, that's we will find, yeah, they are using an 8x2 because they have 2 strings on single MBBT and we have single string on 1 MBBT. So the maximum current approximately for us is a 20 ampere, which is acceptable for all inverters. The maximum current for the other module is 15 ampere, which is accepted as well by all inverters. So here's the amount of the cables. We are using almost the amount of cables because we are, I mean, from the kg perspective of the cover, because we have 11x2 cables of 4 The competition or the other module, they have 8x2 of 6 So getting the weight on the lens and the cross section, you will find we are using almost the same value or the same value of kg of covers, which will not impact the cables. But the points comes here, when you use the 2 strings on the single MBBT, you use a Y connector. And the guys who are attending now, which they are from the inverter perspective, really can understand what are the challenges which they can have of having a Y connector to do it, which it can actually cannot guarantee the AC-DC ratio which you can apply. Plus, you will have a mismatch because that's you have 2 strings connected to 1 MBBT, which the performance can be less. And the other thing for the maintenance, when you have a Y connector and when you have a 2 string per inverter, so if there is any losses happen during the maintenance or the monitoring with one of the fuses, so you will need to stop the 2 strings and you will start to do the maintenance on it. So the main concern of using the Y connector is the mismatch and the maintenance, which will reduce the performance of the modules which you are having. So speaking back, and you can see now that everyone from the tracker side or from the inverter side, they started recently, like the last months, to announce in their websites and to announce in their pages that they are started their R&D to comply with the 210. Why everybody is working to comply? This is a giant companies and this is a big companies. Why they are modifying their trackers? Why they are modifying their inverters just to comply with the 210 modules? Because this is the future. Tomorrow, it's the normal. It's the normal development in the industry. So they wanted just to be ready early. It doesn't mean that the Trina started it. Yeah, we lead it. We started to be the pioneer in it, but actually that's everybody's coming. Even from the other side of the other modules, which they are promoting 182 right now, that their teams is working now and investing in R&D for 210, which they can sell the same bread tomorrow. So this is the normal for any technology when it comes that the market will flow in it. So as you can see right now, guys, that's all of the top 8 tracker companies in the world that they are complying now with the 210, and they are having all the reports done and the tests done on the 210. Guys, that's who wants to raise a hand. Just put your question in the Q&A. We are answering it all, and we will just make it at the end to answer everyone's in the Q&A, because when you raise your hand, I cannot hear you or what you wanted to say. So you can just post the question in the Q&A box, and I'm sure I will make sure that before we close the session, that I'm answering everybody. So now just moving from the trackers, going to the BOS saving. As I said, that's our main target, just to talk about the performance characteristic of the cell, the module itself, and from the other perspective that we are talking about how it will add value for you to use the new technology of 210, how you will make the BOS saving on your old system, how you will make the maximum of the levelized cost of energy for the yield generation from using the new technology. So now this is like a project side in using a fixed tile. So we can see that when you are using the 210 modules, you have less racking of 7%, less foundations of 9%, less 6% of the cables you are using, less 35% of the combiner boxes you are having. The installation is less because of the center frame, lighter modules, easy handling, and number of panel as well, it decreased by 1.4. So comparing the Trina 545 to XYZ 535 companies, then you will find the total. This is how the impact, which is $0.046 for $0.046 per watt. So on the same calculation, when you are using the tracker 2B, so you will find the number of racking is less 5.7, and the foundation is less by 11%, installation as well by 4%, and panels as well is reduced 1.4. So the sum of the calculations, it comes $0.052 per watt. So this is the calculation had been done by the NTGL. I think everybody of you knows it. So they made a calculation. This is a third-party calculation. This sheet is already existing, and the report is existing. If you want the original reports, we can share it with you one-to-one. We can upload it in public. So that they are doing a comparison between XYZ 535 and between Trina the 550 watt, which is the same modules which we are talking. So this is the cost for tracking with piles, and this is the DC trenching and wiring, cable and conduit material, the AC trenching, wiring and cable and conduit material, including the civil work and bind the cable itself, the AC installation, the tracker mounting, land equation, and BOS. So we can see here that the BOS is given minus 1.58% of the whole system components, and levelized cost of energy dollar per kilowatt hour is less 1.39%. So the yield comparison, when we are talking about the same reference module we are using in the Vertex module, that we are making assumption on the same losses assumption, exact same DC capacity, exact the same tracker and pitch, and exact the same coordinates. So you will find that Vertex brings $0.01 per watt peak. So going to the same Vertex module, which we are having to talk right now about the bifacial module. So the bifacial gain, it's up to 25 to 30%. So here I need to correct it. It's not right. It's from 25 to 30%. And it improved the levelized cost of energy and improved the BOS. But when we talk about the bifacial module, so we need really to consider the two things: how to achieve it from 5%, the bifaciality gain or the energy gain you are getting from a 5% to 30%. There is a main points that you need to use. Which module you are using, bifacial module or a backsheet module? You are using it on a fixed tile or you are using it with a tracker? What kind of albedo you have? I mean, the ground, the reflected light that come in, the albedo, everybody, if you, I think, he knows what the albedo, which is the reflected light, is divided by the incident light, which is coming from sun radiation. So going to it, that this is the power output and the gain difference in the field. So if you are using a monofacial with a baseline or using a bifacial without tracker or bifacial with tracker on a glass, if you are using a bifacial with tracker on a sand, bifacial with tracker on a white painted or on a snow, which is exist in some good areas. As we know that once you are getting lighter, once you are getting white on the beach itself or the land or the roof you are installing, you are getting higher albedo. So which means that if you use the right albedo or higher albedo and getting the best tracker for your bifacial, so the energy gain, it can be 30%. In my previous webinars, someone asked me if we have this bifaciality report of the energy gains. Yeah, considering the specs and considering the experience of testing, we have the reports. Just you will find my contact at the end, so you can just drop me an email and I can share with you the reports of the bifaciality. So this is as well, which is one of the main concern points which we are having today, the added value for logistics. Everybody of you know that when the freight cost is really high or the freight cost impacts, it makes the real impact of the total price for the modules. Because the logistics and the supply chain for the modules is one of the major points of deciding if you are gonna make money out of this project or you are not gonna make it. I saw the same. This was not existing in my presentation, but I had seen one of our reference presentation from some people in the market that they were talking about wrong values. It means that they didn't go really well on our updated data sheet to know how many pieces which we have their container to get the wattage. So on the left side, you can see our legacy module, which is the DE08M, till 390 watt per module. On DE17M, which is till 460 watt per module. You will find that on the first module, it's having 806 pieces per container, 40 feet HQ. So which we have 307 kilowatt. On the other side from the DE17, we have a 314 kilowatt. It's having 682 pieces per container. You can just make this calculation on your calculator when you are setting out to get the really figures and really good numbers. Going to the 210 cell, which is having a vertex under their pictures. So we will have our DE18M, which is 505. We will find 602 pieces per container, which is having a 330 kilowatt per container. The DE19 is having a 620, which is having 385 kilowatt per container. The DE09, which is our Vertex S, is a small module. And as I said, I will speak about it today, but I will just give more briefly and technically about the application and about the module itself in our next webinar on 16th of March. So it's having 379 kilowatt because it's have 936 watt, sorry, 936 pieces per container. So this is the real figures. This is the real numbers. If you open any of our data sheet, you updated data sheet, the recent one, you will find the table on the second page on the right side below. It's having the backing details. It will tell you how many modules per pallet and how many modules per container. So at least you can make your calculation based on it to get the right logistics cost and to get the right freight, because it's a really major points for us when we decide commercially which modules we are gonna use. So this is the higher power modules and with the low voltage, which is our Vertex S, which I said I'm gonna speak about it. So this is I like it. It's very small module and it's 1.7 meter. The module, it's up to 405 watt. So the module is higher than the same side of the module exists in the market, which is with 60 watt. It's mainly for the rooftops and it's really looks unique and looks elegant. The electricity generation cost is around 10% to 23%. It's easy for deployment because it's very small. One person can handle one panel, can carry it in your hand and you can leave. It's very light and very unique. Then it's very low degradation and it's a longer warranty with higher efficiency 21.1 because thanks for the technology of the 210. So, and it comes in a two sides, one, the full black frame and the standard module frame. So talking back about which company you need to choose to support you and to secure your future supply, that we have a really track record that we have 1 giga plus delivered on 2020. And we have a large manufacturing capacity, as you see how our factories looks like when I showed the video in the early beginning. So we have a 26 gigawatt of the modules to be produced in 2021 and 50 gigawatt to be produced in 2022. We have a 15 gigawatt of the cells is producing in 2021. So as we are all know that this year, 2021 and last quarter, we can say that 2020, it was the year of supply chain. It was a challenge that most of the companies which was existing in our industry, they were having a lack of supply and the demand is really high. So it reached that the prices started to increase and there is a limited capacity for them to supply. Then they were delaying 3-4 months of supply because they don't have the raw material. So I can confirm to you that the Trina is having a secured material supply. We have 80 million meters square of glass, and we have a 2 billion UD for the weavers. So which means that we can deliver any time of the year, even if you want the product next week. So the summary and conclusion of why you use a Vertex. The Vertex is readily available option for the secured supply chain. The Vertex is gonna really reduce or make a really reduction, as you see in the tables I was sharing with you, on the BOS saving for the whole solution and the components for the BOS saving you wanted to get. Vertex module, yeah, it needs change in design. That's what I'm saying, that it gives you the full benefits when you choose the right product for your project. That's why I've said, you can come back to us. You can just ask us which modules can fit really for your project, and we will be happy to give it to you, and we will be happy to support whatever you want. And if you have any concern, you have any question, you have anything or inquiry, just feel free. You can just contact me anytime. So it's our time now. It's our time now to answer the question. So I can see in the chat box, we can get the presentation. Definitely you will get the recorded presentation in your email. Sorry. It's welcoming. Thank you. Thank you. Who is the point of the contact? It's me for GCC and area. So you can contact today, and you can contact me. So I think Abdurrahman, yeah, you can just drop me an email and I will share with you what's about you wanted to get. What's the recommended height of the tracker on the latest Vertex 630? Yeah, it depends where you are going to use it and which cracker brand rajack you can use it. So you can share with us your design and the simulation, and we can advise which height of tracker, and we give you a recommendation as well. For John, that's you can find the data sheet is existing in our website, and when it will be available in South Africa, it's available. You can drop or leave a message, and we can give you our sales manager for South Africa, Lawrence, and he can supply and he can help you to do the inquiry. Can we use the robots for cleaning? Yeah, definitely you can use the robots for cleaning. So the robotic machines, which can be approved, you will find the method of cleaning is existing in every single installation manual we have. So you can, if you didn't find your robot manufacturer is listed in our company, so you can share with us the data sheet of the robotic which you are using, then we can give you the advice if this robotic is really complying with the cleaning system and it should be available or not. Are the 665 available now? Yeah, available. It's gonna be delivered, yeah. Delivery can start in May, but the product is available, yeah, it's available. If there is any drop in the performance of the year, yeah, see, when it comes for the performance, I mean, if you are talking about the degradation or the LID, so you will find in each product, because you just put a generic question. So you will find in each product for us, in the first page, in the last, you will find the graph. It's telling you the degradation or the losses in the first year, and along on the 30 years of warranty, how many percentage you're gonna lose in every year. So, and I give you the rates and the percentage of after 25 years, how much it's gonna be the generation on the last year. So Mohammed, if you go to any data sheet for which module you are using, and you will just find that it's already existing. It's existing how it changes in the generation of the module itself along the years, year by year, and you can do the calculations very easy. If you wanted to know after 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, you can just do it. How many years warranty in general? Depends. We have a product with 25 years warranty, 12 years product warranty, 25 years performance, and we have 12 years product warranty and 30 years performance, and depends which product you're going to use. And as well, it exists in the middle of the first page. you will find the table for the warranty, how many years warranty you get on your product. So it's either between 12 to 25, like 12 years product warranty and 25 performance warranty, or 12 years of product warranty and 30 years of performance warranty. John, you need the data sheet. Yeah, definitely. Just drop me an email and I will just send it to you directly. So guys, this here you can see this is all the Q&A had been resolved today. Thank you everybody. And who don't have my contact is here, or you can just drop an email to Middle East at Trina Solar, which they can help you to in your region to give you the right contact person and the right assigned person for the communication. And we are always happy to support you. So thanks for your time and thanks for today and for the recorded presentation. Yeah, definitely. Viviana is going to send to everybody after our webinars the presentation with the recorded webinar. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. See you soon.